Thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press, on behalf of the Free UN Coalition for Access. Thanks for the briefing. I wanted to ask you about quantitative easing. There's obviously many people have raised concerns about its impact outside of the United States on other economies. And you seem to be saying that to reduce these risks for global growth, there should be clear communication, transparency. So I wanted you to say more about that. And that there's actually in the U.S. there's a call for like auditing the Fed. There are various proposals for more transparency at the Fed. And I wanted to know, is that the kind of thing that your office at the UN thinks is good? Also, you were saying you don't comment on the IMF, but I noticed at the end of the report you have this priority should be given to the implementation of the quota reform. So could you say what's the financial impact of it? I know there was a big debate around that in connection with Ukraine, where they tried to say that it should be passed by the Congress because this would help Ukraine. But is there some impact beyond that globally of the quota reform? Thanks a lot.
Well, the quota reform, more precisely, is not IMF policy, but the members agreed on the reform. I mean, for the reforms on IMF. So in that sense, we can generally comment the consequence. We go along with the member states' decision. That is, they already agreed. The rest is how to implement. Right now, we know only a single country prevented this ratification of the agreement, so which prevent the implementation of the quota reform. That's frankly speaking, it's for the longer term, means actually to increase the position, the voice of developing countries in line with the increase of their economic weight in the global economy, right? Right now, China, India, and a few other emerging market economies, their quota, except China. China is already actually the third to US and Japan, but India, for example, the quota there, it's pretty small. It's smaller than a few European economies. So it's mainly for the long run, because in the long run, it's kind of a global governance issue, and how to kind of increase the voice and the decision-making power of developing countries and transition economies, so that to participate in the rule setting, not just taking rules from a group of developed countries. So that's important in the longer run. But the QE, I think, yes, indeed, we emphasize the communication. For example, we noticed actually the recent change in the position on this issue from the U.S. Fed. The new Fed chairman or chairperson is more kind of open in admitting that the U.S. QE has already caused significant and painful adjustment to emerging market economies. That's what she said in the MFC meeting in Washington, D.C. I participated in that meeting. But before, we know that the previous U.S. Fed chairman tried to emphasize a kind of uncertainty there. That is, it generated both a positive spillover effect as well as negative, and he couldn't know which one is dominant, which one is bigger. But it's clear now, I think, for the new chairman, new chairperson to admit that indeed there is negative spillover effect to developing countries, and she's willing to talk, to open more dialogue with emerging economies in all different kind of international platform within G20 or in the IMFC, International Monetary and Financial Committee, in the Washington, D.C., maybe other places. Yes, that's a progress. Yeah.